So I was doing groceries, right? And I opened my Discord real quick, and I see Kazua sent me some messages about some cards I don't even know what they mean. He sent me, yo, Grappler, you can do Encroaching Shadows with blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the hell is Encroaching Shadows? And then I'm like, oh, wait, what time is it? Oh, crap, it's the time that cards get released. And then I looked at the cards really quick while shopping with my shopping cart. So I did that during shopping. But yeah, I had a little talk with Kazoo, and that's about it. I haven't seen anyone else's opinions. I have not seen Swim's opinions, BBG's, nobody's. So this is going to be purely my thoughts. Although I will say, and this is only a guess, that Swim is Craigasming over this card. I think this is Swim's card. If there's anybody who's going to be excited for this little goblin dude, it's going to be Swim. I cannot imagine Swim not loving this card. Like, that's impossible. He is? He was? Okay. Okay. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got that guess right. Elusives, obviously. Like, obviously, right? This is an elusive card. This is not a SI card. I mean, elusives are going to be playing SI all of a sudden. Alright. Let's go from left to right this time. We're not going to do worst to best. We're going to do left to right. Nightfall, the new keyword. In order to activate Nightfall, you have to play a card before it. So, you play a mushroom, you get the Nightfall effect. You play Get Excited, you get the Nightfall effect. You play a 1-drop before this, you get a Nightfall effect. Basically, it has to be the second card or plus you played that turn. Easy to understand. Warning Shot, yeah, Nightfall, basically. So, Stygian Onlooker, it's a 2-1, and that's it. Base 2-1. Nightfall, give me +2 attack and Fearsome this round. A 4-1 for one turn with Fearsome is not bad on turn 2. It's not bad on turn 1 if you Warning Shot. It's a lot of damage to face. Like, I actually don't mind this at all. I think a lot of streamers are going to say it's bad. I think it might be good. I think this might be good. I think this might be good. The reason why is because it trades up really well, right? So this is a 1 mana cost card. Worst case scenario, it cost him 1 mana to stop him hitting face, right? So he's going to block you with a 1 cost card. Or a 0.5 cost card, like a 1 cost card that has a Death Rattle effect. But those don't really exist with 3 attack, right? Because you need a 3 attack unit to block this. So what is going to block this that costs 1? Pretty much nothing. I think this is a strong card. Yeah, Parlay, but that's a 1 for 1. Okay, 0.5 for 1, basically. Vile Feast costs 2 mana, keep that in mind. Overall, I think this might see play in an aggro deck. It's really good. Even on turn 5, guys, turn 5, you play, like, let's say, Callista into this. It's still a 4-1 attacking that they have to block versus an aggro deck. And they're going to be blocking this with a 2-drop. You're getting a 1 mana advantage, or you're dealing 4 to face. I think it's strong. Make it rain. Guys, I know there are answers. It's not a broken card that can't be answered by anything. I'm aware. But I think it's still a good card. I think this is going to see play. I'm not going to play because I don't play aggro that much. But I think it might see play. Only good in attack. Needs another card before. Easy to remove. No, not really. You can do this blocking. Like, let's say the opponent plays a card. Let's say you're playing cards and then he plays a really big card and you know he's going to attack face. A 4-1 blocker is not bad for 1 mana. 1 mana, 4-1 blocker is not horrible. Of course, it's a lot better on attack. It's a lot better on attack. I agree. Doom Beast. Nightfall, drain 2 from the enemy nexus. So this is an effect that can be countered, first of all. What do we think about this card? I mean, deal 2 to face with a body is really good, right? Like, this is not going to... And it heals you for 2 as well. Like, this is a Mystic Shot with a 3-2 body for 1, right? I think this is a decent card. Okay, it's a worse Deadloom if you're not aggro. But for aggro, it's pretty damn decent. Like, the 3-2 lifesteal is better in a control deck, I would say, because it gets multiple value sometimes. And it gets 3 heal instead of 2. And it can be played on turn 3. This can't really be played on turn 3. You need to play it later to get the value out of it. But this might be a face push. Like, these 2 cards plus this card, I can see an aggro SI deck coming around. I could see that working out. I like the card. I'm going to say it's decent. I don't think it's amazing. I'm a little bit sad because I like to play SI control, and they're pushing SI in a different direction with all these cards. But I think it's okay. I do think it's an okay card. Yeah, it is a very generic name. I'm not a fan of the name, but hey, what can you do? So we have Dusk Rider next. Fearsome. He gets +1 for each time we've activated Nightfall this game. That means there have to be more Nightfall cards, maybe. Is that good? I'm gonna say that this card is not good. I'm gonna say this card sucks. I'm gonna say this card is bad. I'm gonna say this card is terrible. Yeah, but it's not a Legion General, guys. It doesn't gain HP. If it gained HP, I would say this card is broken. If this was a 2-5, gain +1/+1, or even a 2-4, gain +1/+1, I think this card would be really strong. Because then this could be like a 5-drop with, let's say, a 6/9 5-drop. That would be insane. But +1 attack, I mean, let's say this is a 6/5 for 5. Best case scenario. It's not enough. I don't feel like it's enough. Fearsome is not as good as Overwhelm. Like, Fearsome is meh. It can still get chump blocked by a lot of stuff. It's like a really, really worse Daywonder. Not even close. Like, you can just chump block this. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm going to pass on this card. I'm going to say it's bad. Passage Unearned. Obliterate all units that were summoned but not played this round. I think, and here's my humble opinion, I think this might be a one-of in control decks. I think you might drop one of these in control decks. Because the thing about this card is, versus most matchups, you will find at least a 1-for-1 use for this, okay? You never want to draw more than one of these in your hand. Most matchups, they have some form of summon effect. Most matchups. Whether it be Rekindler, whether it be... Even aggro has like 3 drops that make another 1-drop appear and stuff like that. Most matchups, you will find some small use for this. It's not a dead card in almost any matchup. It's just not very good in most matchups. The thing about this card is it's going to be an auto win versus some matchups. Like, versus Harrowing decks, this wins you the game. Somebody plays 9 mana and you deny them for 3? That's insane. Versus Zombie Anivia? Insane. Versus anything with Rekindler? Super decent. Overall, this is versus some matchups very strong. War Mother only removes 1 unit, guys. It's only this round, chat. So this, I think this card might be a one-of in control decks, but that's about it. Just a one-of, I would say. I don't think you can run 2 of these. And only in control decks, I would say. Never in aggro, never in mid-range. This is a control card on its own, because control decks, what they look for is to outvalue the opponent. And 3 mana can remove a 9 mana card is pretty good. It's good when you summon Trend from War Mothers. Yeah, for sure. But it only removes the Trend, right? It doesn't do much else. And Obliterate is pretty nice. Mess with every single Shadow Isle champion in some way. Yeah, Hecarim, it gets rid of his summons. Let's say if somebody plays Rekindler into Hecarim and attacks, you get rid of the Hecarim and the summons. Like, overall, I can see this being played. It's not a bad card. I don't think it's a good card, though. I don't think it gets more than one per deck. I never think you play multiples, unless you're really targeting a super meta deck. Like, let's say if there was like 50% Harrowing decks on ladder, then sure, you might play this. There's a lot of applications for this that are not going to make it a dead card. Yeah, this actually gets rid of sharks as well, for sure. The 5/5, the treasures, yes. A lot of applications. I think that's enough said about this card. There's not really that much to talk about. I think it has potential to be a one-of. We'll have to wait and see. And we have Encroaching Shadows. What do you guys think of Encroaching Shadows, first of all? I want to hear you guys and your opinions. How do you guys like this card? Meme, sucks, troll, meme, absolute insane card, stupid, meme, broken. So most people are saying it's a meme card. I think this card is very good. And the reason for that is the +2 HP. So what is the one problem that elusives have? They can be removed so easily. Elusives are 1 or 2 HP defense, and that's it. You put this on an elusive list, and you're gonna destroy. You're gonna destroy your opponents. I mean, elusives are hitting for so much damage with this. Every 1-drop elusive is gonna be like a 4/3. I mean, this is gonna be usually on Ionium. 4 damage to face, 4, 5, or 6 damage to face, 4 damage to face, 5 damage to face. Even this is dealing 3 damage to face. I mean, 6 damage to face, 8 damage to face. This guy is a 6/4 when you drop him. If you drop, like, let's say for example, you drop Green Glade into Navori Blade Scout into this on like late game. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Plus 4 damage is 10 damage. Plus 6 damage is 16 damage. Plus 6, that's 22 damage with these 3 cards. 22 damage to face. And you can't Vile Feast this when it drops because it's a 4/3 to start. Like, it's such, and that's only with 1. Guys, that's 22 damage to face with only 1 of these played at some point in the game. You play 2 of these, all of a sudden that's an extra 6 damage. That's 28 damage to face with 3 units. It's insane how strong this makes elusives. If you don't have blockers for elusives, you're absolutely screwed. You can't even remove them with Avalanche because everyone is going to be 3 HP minimum. Like, only Grasp stops an elusive at this point. Vile Feast does nothing. So this is a finisher. You're not going to play this turn 3, right? This is a finisher. You finish games with this. Towards mid-game, you're running out of steam, you drop these down, and every elusive you draw. And because you're playing Shadow Isles, you can even play Harrowing, right, as a one-of. Because if you run out of steam, drop a Harrowing, you get 5 elusives on board, swing, you win. Super weak versus control cards. If enemy has answers, you're screwed. Yeah. But what answers can he have? Like, control cards have what? What are their answers? Ruination? Avalanche doesn't stop it. Withering Wail doesn't stop it. What AoE card stops it? Box? Box only stops if you played 1. If you play 2, Box doesn't stop it. If you play 2 of these, no removal except for Ruination stops it. Icequake? It's not enough. If you played 2 of these, all your elusives are still getting +1 versus Icequake. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that this is really strong. I'm gonna say this is absolutely bonkers as a finisher for elusives. Now, I don't think it fits anywhere else other than elusives. I don't think it fits anywhere else. But it's gonna be an Ionia card almost certainly. And you know what else Ionia has, guys? It has Deathmark, and you're gonna always find value for Deathmark, guys. That's pretty sick. It has Deny to stop Ruination, guys. Ionia is a really good color for this. Ionia has Silent Shadowseer, of course, which is going to be a permanent value swing. Oh my, I mean, it's just really strong, guys. It's just really strong. Trust me, this is the future, chat. This is the future. Deathmark is trolly. I don't think it is. I mean, I'd have to build a deck, and Swim knows more about elusives than I do, because I never play elusives. But I think keeping like a 6/5 elusive alive on board after the first swing is super strong. Shadow Flare meta. I don't even know what Shadow Flare is. Oh no, dude. But yeah, you guys get my drift. I think this card is amazing. I don't think it's a meme card. I think this card is really strong. I think we're going to see decks doing well with it. You get OTK potential with this. So what does that lose to? It's like, maybe it's a little bit slow versus like burn aggro, if burn aggro is even a thing. But with so much healing in the meta, so many new healing cards coming out, and a champion that heals, I think burn aggro is going to be a thing of the past. Which means this might be the fastest deck in the game. I mean, you can play it in elusives, but it will suck. You think it's going to suck in elusives? I don't know, man. You can get 3 mana combos from hand dealing 20 plus damage to face. And you don't even need 20 plus damage by mana 9 or 8. Because with elusives, you're chipping away early on anyway. I mean, by that point, the opponent should be down to like 10 HP at worst. You can't develop units on turns. You're not attacking. That is true. That is true. But you're playing Shadow Isles, right? You can do other things. I mean, it depends what your Shadow Isles package is going to look like. What do we have in Shadow Isles for off-turn plays that are not units? So first of all, what champions are we generating with this? I don't think Zed is a champion you're going to play. Probably Hecarim. Maybe none. Hecarim Callista. Like, Hecarim's really strong in this. Because he has Overwhelm guaranteed. And Hecarim is going to have plus stats over guaranteed on his Overwhelm. Plus, he's going to be leveled up as well, guaranteed. Like, Hecarim could be pretty decent on this. As a finisher, you drop him down, and he does crazy damage. You'll probably maybe see one of these 3, just to be faster. Because this is like early game as well. You're not going to play the card on turn 3. It's a late game card. So I don't see it as a card that you're going to play in the beginning, and then you're just going to play non-stop ephemeral units. I see it like a card you're going to use to finish them off. Like, you have 2 in hand by mana 8, 9. You drop both on the opponent's turn, and on your turn, you just dump 3 elusives on board and just win the game. That's how I see the card being played. Because elusives are super cheap, right? Elusives are all very small mana cost. Let's say you are in mana 8, your opponent's turn. You chump block with everything, you play double that card. All of a sudden, everything has +4/+4. And then you go Green Glade into a Navori into a Silent Shadowseer. How much damage is that? This is a 6, 7, this is 8 damage. This is 14 damage. This is, that's 21 damage on board. All of a sudden, these 3 cards are 21 damage. You can have Deny in hand to stop their response. You can have... If they're not running elusive blockers, you're just going to lose. That's how I see it. I see it more as a finisher. You can play Highwayman for sure. Highwayman's actually pretty good here. Wow. Like, Highwayman is going to be... Let's say you played one of them. This is a 2 mana, 3/4, that doesn't have ephemeral. 2 mana, 3/4 is pretty sick. And the first one also has a 2 mana, 3/4 that's going to swing and die, but that's like super high value. Like, there are things you can do to add to this that are pretty cool. Imagine if you have Soul Shepherd on board. Yeah, but Soul Shepherd's going to have ephemeral. It's not going to work. Whole point of SI elusives is to OTK the opponent. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I think it's going to be viable. I don't think it's not going to see play. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a tier 1 deck. I have no idea how it's going to be. Plus, you got to keep in mind we have not seen the rest of the expansion. They might have a lot of ways to counter that. We'll have to wait and see. Sharks are pretty high value as well. But I don't think that this deck is going to see Sharks because I don't think you're going to want to play that early. I think it's going to be a late game play. I don't see this card being an early drop ever. I think you never drop this down early because it's just going to mean you're going to have no defensive boards ever. I think this is going to be a like mana 6, mana 7 play at earliest. Because you're playing this once you have enough elusives just to OTK with. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with this. I am excited.